we have the authors of a book that, despite being written years ago, has recently come under a lot of heat. After this break, please help me give a warm welcome to the authors of Will Grayson, Will Grayson. Welcome back to the Phelan Show. I'm here with authors of Will Grayson, Will Grayson, John Green, and David Leviathan. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here. So you guys book Will Grayson, Will Grayson. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Will Grayson is about two strangers that share the same name. However, other than their names, they live completely different lives.
Each of us wrote alternating chapters on our respective Will Grayson, and soon the two stories collide. My Will Grayson is a highly depressed, closeted gay teenage boy who only finds comfort online.
My Will, on the other hand, is much more of a stereotypically normal teenage boy. He's best friends with a guy named Tiny Cooper, who is anything but tiny. He's extremely tall and outwardly gay, and he draws a lot of attention to himself. Will kind of lives in Tiny's shadow, but he's okay with not standing out much.
When the two meet, their friend groups merge, and they find out a lot about each other and themselves.
As you guys know, I asked you to come and join us today because your book has recently come under a lot of fire in the press. And homosexuality is a big hot topic in today's society, which your book talks a lot about that. In fact, wasn't your book the first LGBT novel to ever make the New York bestsellers list?
It was!
So lately, some schools have been censoring this book or not allowing it in the building. Could you tell me why you think this is happening?
Well, our book does have two main characters that are gay, and a lot of people tend to slam the door on anything that is out of the ordinary, including sexual minorities. These schools decide that they want the kids to have what they're thinking and not let them think what they want. So instead, they put what they want into the kids' heads and don't let them see the world through their own eyes.
That's a great way to put it, David. I agree that this book is mainly banned because of the two gay main figures. Another cool aspect about this book is that it explores all types of homosexuality. On one end, you have Will Grayson number 2, who is extremely shy and embarrassed by his sexuality and doesn't tell anyone. On the other hand, you have Tiny Cooper, who's extremely flamboyant and outwardly gay, and he doesn't seem to care what other people think of
An
him.
example of the time it was censored was in Strasburg High School in Colorado. A teacher wanted to teach a class on young adult literature, and on the reading list was our book, Will Grayson, Will Grayson. A group of parents, they challenged some of the books on the reading list, including our book, and they said, quote, "The majority of the books on the curriculum are profane, pornographic, violent, criminal, crass, crude, vile, and will result in the irreparable erosion of my students' moral character."
Wow, I can't believe that. Personally, I have read the book, and I found it interesting and informative, but not at all in an offensive way. So, who do you guys think your supporters and opposers are for this novel?
It can be kind of hard to label one group as supporters and another as opposers, simply because some people may agree with parts of the book and not others. However, when we're only talking about the sexual minorities aspect, it becomes a bit easier. Religious beliefs may play a big part in who opposes the book. For example, Christian schools may not allow the book because they don't agree with the ideas discussed in it. More conservative people may also not agree with the book because they don't embrace or accept sexual minorities at all.
Our supporters include more liberal people or anyone who supports or wants to know more about the LGBT community. Most people are at least open to the idea of this book, and as authors, we accept differing opinions. We just ask that everybody is respectful. Our personal views are that the book should not be censored in schools because we believe that all kids should be able to form their own opinion on this type of stuff and not be swayed by others.
So, the last question of the day that I have for you two is, where did you grow up? Would you say that your beliefs and upbringing really influence how you write your novels today?
I grew up in Orlando, Florida mostly, and also a little bit in Birmingham, Alabama. Both of these states were more conservative about same-sex relationships, especially Alabama. However, despite who I'm surrounded by as I grew up, I have pretty liberal views today. Later in my life, I lived in big cities such as New York and Chicago, and I did a lot of writing while I lived in those places. And living there really helped shape me into the person that I am today.
On the other hand, I grew up in a town called Short Hills, New Jersey. Here, I was very thankful that my parents were always accepting to me being gay, and I didn't have to hide it like Will Grayson did in the story. I am very proud to say that my state legalized gay marriage in 2013, 2 years before the rest of the country. I would really like to say thank you again for having us here, and I hope everyone takes the time to read this amazing, mind-changing book and to get their own view on it and not take anyone else's as yours.
Again, thank you so much for having us today. Everyone watching should know to be who you are and love yourself over everyone else. Lastly, as a thanks to the crowd for coming out to watch us speak, David and I are going to sign this brand new copy of Will Grayson, Will Grayson and give it away to one lucky fan in the crowd.
Who's going to be the lucky winner to get the signed book by me and John? Who wants it?
Me, please! Again, I would like to give a big thank you to authors of Will Grayson, John, and David. Guys, please keep on educating today's youth and teaching teens to be their true and uttermost selves. Let's give them a big round of applause.